them remember. Make mommy proud, Jason. Kill for mother. They deserve to die, Jason. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Remember me, Jason. Make them remember. Hunt them down. Hunt them down. Make them pay.
Kill her, Mommy.
They're trying to teach me, Jason. Dock them. Dock them. Mother is talking to you. Jason. Kill them. Jason. Yes. Make them remember. Make mommy proud, Jason. Kill for mother. They deserve to die, Jason. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. They can't hide. There's no place to hide. Hunt them down. Hunt them down. Make them pay.
Kill her, Mommy.
They're trying to teach me, Jason. Dock them. Dock them. Mother is talking to you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Just gonna hang out here the next hour or two, answer any questions you guys would like. Nicholas is here as well.
Hello.
He sounds better than ever.
Okay.
So before we get deep into conversation here, excuse me. Oh god, try to get the music levels up. Okay. Let me know do I sound okay? So there's echo again. What is causing the echo? And why is it only when I stream on this page it does that? Like, let me ask you something. Am I streaming? Am I echoing on this page? Is there echo over here now? I find this situation very interesting. Unless it's the Elgato audio. It is.
I like the double cam here.
Is it better now? Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Is it better now? Any better? I
think it's better.
I hope it's better.
Cool.
Okay, it's good now. All right. Okay. Sorry, sometimes you gotta beat the fucking system when it comes to the stupid ass Elgato. Because for anyone that doesn't know, the way we do videos now, like these types of videos, the news videos, it comes, this camera, it's a Blackmagic Pocket Cam, runs through an Elgato capture, like an HD60S. So it can be really frustrating sometimes, but it works. Okay, then let's talk a little bit. So there was a minor lawsuit update today that is more fun to discuss with Nick and go into that. But it was so minor that I was like, it's not really video worthy. Because basically the update is there is no update. Larry Zerner came out and said a couple months ago that he was expecting by the end of June to hear a decision because of the decisions that came out before and just the time frame that it looked like it was going to be the end of June. But there has been no word on the case as of right now. And, his main point to get across was that the decision could come out tomorrow or it could come out in the fall. At this moment, all we could do is really wait. I saw a little bit of confusion with what he said about the fall. Like, it could be tomorrow, it could be the fall, and some people took that as like one or the other.
Literally.
Yeah, like it's either tomorrow or it's the fall, and I wanted to clarify that that's not the case. It's like his main point is like it could be at any time. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be a month from now, and it could be the fall. It's like with COVID-19, the pandemic, it simply comes down to it's a wait. We don't know. Nobody fucking knows. We don't know anything. Let me look at the movies. Look at all the movies getting delayed. So yeah, it sucks that we haven't heard anything. It's unusual that we haven't heard anything. And actually, Friday the 13th franchise on their Twitter, they kind of pitched in a little bit as well. Yesterday, they were like, "Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that we haven't heard anything." So, but of course, not only will Larry Zerner be the first one to let you know if something changes on that, but we'll be right there. The second we hear news, we'll cover it right away. And yeah, we'll see what's next for Friday the 13th. Now things, in terms of the game, I know there's already going to be like 50 questions about the game. I don't ever expect to see content again in Friday the 13th, the game. I would not hold your breath for that. Wes has been making that very, very clear on his Twitch streams. So definitely do not hold your breath for any content surrounding Friday the 13th, and definitely no major content. I would never expect to see anything like Uber Jason or Grendel or anything else. One thing I always kind of like cross my fingers for and hope for is maybe like kill packs that were already complete. But again, if you release something now, you're just adding fuel to the fire. And I think that's why we'll never see it. Especially, at this point, we have to assume that Guns, balls deep in another game right now. And, because Gun Media is in the middle of another game, to ask them to come back and invest millions of dollars to maybe make a comeback on F13, that's unrealistic. I would say don't ever expect that.
Don't want to give me hope. But it is... there is a possibility, a very, very, very small one, that Sean Cunningham personally writes a check to Gun Media to hire a new content team that would create content. Very, 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 very unlikely that happens, especially if you know Sean Cunningham.
Yeah, definitely don't get your hopes up for something like that, but that would be probably the only way you'd see an insane comeback of anything like game-wise surrounding Friday the 13th. Sean could even go to the point where he's like, yo, we had a lot of potential that we missed out on with this game. Maybe we try to do another one on next-gen platforms, even though he doesn't understand next-gen platforms, but somebody, I would hope, at Horror Inc. does. So yeah, if he said that and it's like, okay, let's go all the way in. We saw what Friday the 13th the game can make. Let's do another one. Stronger developers, bigger budget, and let's go. That is more plausible. That's probably not gonna happen. I'm just saying, if anyone has the ability to do it and pick it up off the ground again, it comes back to Sean and his choices and whether or not he thinks it's a good financial decision. It's jokey. It's jokey, with the $1 Canadian dollar super chat. There it is. A pile of poop with a face. Hey, thanks. That's I love how that's how they explain it. That's how they explain the emote to me. It's a pile of poop with a face. If you're wondering how Restream translates that, thanks. So if anything, I would say let's just hope Gun's doing a really epic game, and let's start looking forward to that. That's where I'm at with the lawsuit and anything surrounding F13. I told Wes this as well. It's like I'm no longer at the point where I'm like, oh, dude, you guys got to bring back Friday. I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I've accepted it. Friday the 13th is no longer going to get content, but let's let's hope that Gun's next game is huge. Let's start looking forward to that, because I think there's so much more that this genre can offer that we haven't even touched on yet. So you talk about things like Gun's next game, or you talk about things like the Evil Dead game that's being talked about by Bruce. It's like, dude, there's a lot of untapped potential in the asymmetrical horror genre.
And it is funny. The same people that say fuck Gun Media, I'm never going to play another game of them, are the same people that say where I want more content. They want more from Gun Media.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan or ever were a fan of Friday the 13th the game, you should want Gun Media to succeed with whatever's next, because obviously they have the potential to do big things.
Yeah. Don't accept it. Look at the release of the Snyder's Cut. I mean, a little bit different there, but
It was something that existed. The content doesn't exist.
yeah, at least the content everyone wants. Like I said, that's why I've always kind of had a little hope when it came to things like the kill packs that we know are done. But like Uber Jason and Grendel, like you're talking like millions of dollars to pick that shit back up off the ground and maybe make a profit on it. Like maybe. Joking again with another $5 Canadian super chats. A fan character laughing out loud. See, that's what that one translates to. With tears in their eyes. That's what that says. If you ever want to know what that translates to.
Laughing and crying.
I appreciate it. I heard the you what. I got thrown off. Someone just become a member and I didn't see it. Face Fister did. There it is. I didn't even know you were gone. Thanks.
To keep watching.
Thanks, buddy.
Or I'll fucking kill you.
I appreciate it, man. Because my screen that actually shows the alerts is over there, and I'm looking at this one, throws me off. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a more interesting conversation. I don't think we should get stuck in the lawsuit this whole stream. I think it's more fun to discuss things like what's Gun doing, what do we think Gun's doing, or what would we want to see in future horror asymmetrical games. I think that'd be more of a fun conversation. I did want to address though, 13 Gallows Lane was up in here. Who, if you guys haven't checked out, you definitely should on Facebook or Twitter. Incredible Friday the 13th and overall photography, but there's a lot of you guys. I know you'd really dig his Friday the 13th photography. Really unique, really cool. You should check it out. I actually used it in the thumbnail recently. But 13 Gallows Lane asked release date for Fall Camp Blood. I do have an update on the Fall Camp Blood that hasn't really gone public per se yet. I guess it kind of went public, but not really. It was more of a brief window. But release date, I don't even want to dive into that. I can tell you we're just gung-ho and we're trying to get it done as soon as possible. But the pandemic has caused some issues. But now we recently, thank God again, have locked dates for filming the opening scene, which other than a few pickup shots and like ADR and basic small things to do for the film, that's the last scene we have to film. So we'll be filming that the weekend of October 9th through the 11th. We have some great people coming out here to make that scene possible, and I'm really, really excited for it. But yeah, that's as far as you can look at your window. Obviously, we're not going to be able to hit October unless if a small miracle happens. But we're looking at our options, and we're working with all the other fan films as well. I recently just talked to Vincent DeSanti about what he's looking at with his release window for Never Hike in the Snow. The same communication has been going on with like James Sweet and Cody Falk. We're all just kind of working around each other to make sure we don't step on anybody's toes, and they don't step on our toes. We want to make sure everybody gets their moment in the spotlight. So
I think the only one with a confirmed release date is Jason Rising. That's November 13th, Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the only one with a public confirmed release date. I think Voorhees posted today and said that they will be announcing what the release date is sometime this month.
Yeah, sometime.
A lot of people were confused on the wording, which I could see. It was just like, we'll be announcing the release date this month.
Yeah. So I'm gonna assume when it comes to Voorhees, I honest to God, I think they're gonna probably drop on November 13th as well, but we'll see.
I agree with that. I think that'd be the route that they go. So and again, do we really want all 4 fan films, 5, 6, whatever, coming out on the same day? There are even some that we haven't even heard of that are probably planning on dropping on that Friday the 13th. So
yeah. and that's that's what I talked with Vincent about. Let's if we can spread out these fan films over, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, and have like one a month or maybe 2 a month, and then you have a lot more time going on and a lot more content for a longer duration, rather than just all of us dropping in the same day. And then some of them never even get any views because of that, because one buries the other or something like that. And that's what all of us are trying to avoid. So we're working together to make sure that doesn't happen.
And obviously, Never Hike in the Snow is going to have a bigger draw than some of these other fan films because of the fan base already there.
Right. Correct. And it does look beautiful. All the stills that Vincent has shared, they look nice. It's honestly because he just shared a story about how they were like panicking when it came to filming, and they had to delay shoot because it had to be snowy, and they wanted snow to hit. They wanted it to be snowing during the film, and they wasn't sure if it was going to happen. And like a miracle, the day they were filming it clicked and it stormed like a motherfucker, and they got some beautiful shots because of it. So, okay, so let's talk about something else. Wouldn't it be wild if Gunn was working on the Evil Dead game? Ooh, the Evil Dead. So part of me is like, yeah, that'd be fucking cool, right? If Gunn was working on the Evil Dead game, because you know that they're gonna do it right. They're gonna take things that we love as fans and bring it to the game and expand on it and make it more exciting, which would be fun, man. But if we know an Evil Dead game's happening, right? Like we know one's already happening, and if Gunn's not the one doing it, and Gunn's already working on another game, that means we probably have 2 horror games on the way, and that is just as exciting, if not more exciting. So, I mean, you got to weigh it. You got to weigh the situation, I suppose. But I mean, I'm so curious about the Evil Dead game because everyone keeps talking about it, and now because Bruce being more vocal about it and saying they're gung-ho, full bore ahead on it, I'm really curious what direction they're taking it. Like, there's so much potential. That's the thing about Evil Dead. You could do anything. Because all we know is that the game's happening, right? We know an Evil Dead game is happening, and we know Bruce Campbell is voicing Ash. Specifically, he's voicing Ash in the game. He's not just doing, like, voiceover work for, like, a menu or anything like that. He's specifically voicing the character of Ash in this Evil Dead game. So, where are they going with it? Going original story? Which I think that'd be cool. Original single-player story. Is it a multiplayer game? Is it a continuation of the TV show, which would be sick? Is it... What are my other options? I had one more option that was in my head, and I forgot what it was. Oh,
remake.
I mean, yeah. A sequel to, like, Army of Darkness, something like that. That seems a little more bold, but Space Jam, with the $1 super chat, said, it's just a dumbbell. It's just a dumbbell. Why is Restream not smart enough to tell me that that's just a dumbbell? Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Yeah. I don't know. What, like, if you were going into it, Nick, like, what would you prefer for an Evil Dead game?
Oh, that's tough. I think if it were me, I think I would want like a 4-player co-op, basically season 4 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I think that'd be the route that I would want to play.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if it's a survival game. I don't know if it's a story-based Telltale style game. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's another one. Telltale game would be sick. A couple super chats here. FaceFish with a $2 super chat said, I love the Evil Dead PS2 games. I do as well. I'm totally okay if they go a direction like that. I think that'd be really cool. I want to go back and play those. I kind of want to maybe stream those sometime or something. If I can get my because I don't own a PS2 anymore, so if I can get like my PS2 emulator working, which is always like 50-50 shot whether or not it's going to work with certain games, but I'll give that a chance, see how that goes. Then Alan with a £2 super chat, rip to the member alert. Alan, talk to me privately. We'll work something out on that one.
Well, because it did. He upgraded his membership to Laurie Strode tier.
Oh wait, he did. Oh, who did?
You what?
Who did? Oh,
Alan.
Did he just now?
A couple minutes ago.
What? I didn't even fucking see it.
You what?
Oh fuck! Well, shoot. That's why I thought he was talking about like the notification that came out earlier. Well, shit, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And what member was Face Fister as well? I didn't even.
Face Fister was Sydney Prescott tier.
Oh shit. God,
big tears up here.
You boys, loyal.
Thank you for that.
Loyal. I love you. That's Restream Chat's fault. It's not mine. I swear. Wonder if the game will be canon. Oh, video games being canon is such an interesting conversation because, like, because Friday the game, I don't think you can call it canon. I think if you do, you're playing with absolute fire because of things like the Jarvis tapes. Dude, the Jarvis tapes they're cool. I loved listening to them. It was a unique experience. It was kind of like tapping into something we've always been wondering about. But like to say it's canon and the things that happen with it are so bold, and I know some fans wouldn't be happy with that. It's I don't know, man. I don't know if you'd want to say that it's canon. Same thing goes with like fan films, obviously. Like for us to say like the Fall Camp Blood was canon is that would be enraging if I was a fan. If I was a fan, and if I wasn't making the movie and I was looking at the Fall Camp Blood, and I was trying to be told that it was canon, I'd be frustrated. So I don't. It just depends on the game. Like, and that's another one. Savini Jason, is Savini canon? Like, Savini plays off of a canon story, like Jason Goes to Hell, but to say that because Jason actually fought the devil and he walked out with his trident and that's canon. I mean, for those that don't know what canon means, canon means like it's truly implemented into the story. So when I was saying, like, if I said the Fall Camp Blood was canon, that's me saying that the Fall Camp Blood is a legitimate part of the Friday the 13th story. There's no overlooking that, rather than it just being like an interesting story or a side story. So that's why I don't think you could say that. So
who decides what's canon and what's not?
That's a good question.
Yep, it's canon. I said so. Oh, but you say it's not canon, so what is it? I determined it was canon.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it comes back to, well, original creator's an option, so you could look at Sean or Victor. But I would say in today's world, because of how many people bounce around these movies, I think it would come back to the studio. I think like New Line, I would say, probably has that call right now. But I don't know. Because of Sean Cunningham still being a producer and like Horror Rank still hanging on to the franchise forever, I guess it would really be their call.
I guess.
That's why Friday the 13th franchise just posted an article yesterday, I think, that caught my attention. I really wanted to. It was almost like podcast worthy. I was thinking we could do a podcast on it. But every point they make is the point that I would make, so I didn't really want to do that. But yeah, the idea is, did Jason die in the first movie? Like, did he drown and die? Or did people think he drowned, he actually survived and lived in the woods for all these years? Real quick, Jokey, 13 Canadian dollars, said, starting this month and the next 4 months, it spells Jason, which is true. July, August, September, October, November. That spells out Jason. That's true. And he also, thanks for the 13. I see you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Yeah, so we'll fucking. Oh yeah, Jason, whether or not he drowned. Victor Miller always made it seem like his original image for the script was that Jason did drown, and there was no intent to ever bring Jason back. That was never how it was going to be. But Sean Cunningham has confirmed in several different interviews and across conventions and things like that Jason did not drown. And Jason being an adult in Friday the 13th Part 2 makes complete sense because of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you could say what's canon all you want. That could be Victor's choice, it can be Sean's choice, but I would say the franchise makes a whole lot more sense if he didn't drown, and Alice's situation where Jason comes up and grabs her, that was all just a dream of hers. I don't know. Nick, do you have any thoughts on that as well? I don't think. Okay.
Can you repeat the main point? Sorry, I was sending a text.
Jason drown? Yes or no?
What? As opposed to?
Well, okay, because my point was that did Jason. Victor says that he did drown. That was his original intention. And Sean came out and said that no, Jason survived, which is why he's an adult in part 2. Yada yada.
I've always been bought in and been a fan of. Yeah, he drowned. Supernatural. Now he's a big boy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes a lot more sense that he didn't. But like, so do you think Alice being attacked at the end? So that you're saying you don't think that's a dream?
When I look at it, I think it's a dream. But I think I saw exactly what we were talking about with that Friday the 13th franchise like timeline.
Yeah.
Where that said it was not a dream. Like she went missing. They couldn't find her.
Yeah.
I've always been a believer in he died and became a man, but the beginning of part 2 with Alice was a dream. At the end of the day, they're movies.
Yeah,
if you care about what's canon or not, you can like something without having to be completely invested in canon and lore, etc.
I always found it's interesting because somebody saying something's canon really doesn't matter. Like, it changes nothing. It's just a statement, really. That's why when Adam Marcus came out and said that Jason being a Deadite is canon, a lot of people were upset. I was like caught off guard by. I was like, okay, but it doesn't change anything. Like him saying it's canon, it doesn't. Okay, whatever. Doesn't change what happened with the movies. Doesn't change the story that's actually legitimately put in front of us. You can interpret it in whatever way you want to. Colton with the $2 super chat, which I don't even think's up. There it is. What's your thoughts on the Outlast series? First of all, thank you for the super chat. Outlast, I love the first one, man. You ever played through the first one, Nick?
No, but I remember watching. Was it you and Griffin?
Yeah, Griffin played that one time. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched damn near all of it.
Yeah, Outlast, the first one was so good. I really loved it. It was really scary. Had an interesting story. Had a lot of fun with that one. The second one, beautiful game. A lot of creepy, weird shit in there, but I struggle to get into the religious type of horror. So when I don't know, I was struggling to get into that, and I didn't really like the story as much, and it didn't feel as like gritty as the first one. This new one that's coming out though, I think this one, the Outlast Trials, looks really cool. And have you looked into the details of Outlast Trials?
Not super deep, just surface level digging.
Dude, it's a co-op game.
Yes, I did know that.
That's so interesting to me. Can a game like that with a horror story still be just as scary when you have a 4-player co-op mixed in with it?
That's what I was thinking about for Ash vs. Evil Dead, though.
Oh yeah.
Or a Evil Dead video game, picking up like Ash vs. Evil Dead. That was always my thought. Like maybe that's what I would want from a Ash vs. or from a Evil Dead game.
That would be neat, like a 3-player co-op. Yeah, and then you could like switch who's who per like level or something. That way everybody can play Ash. I know that's gonna be an issue.
Well, right, like Borderlands has co-player or co-op.
Oh, dude,
campaign.
God, it'd be so cool because like you mentioned that. I think we've had this conversation before, but yeah, with the. If it was a co-op game, or it doesn't even have to be a co-op game, but if you're in the Ash vs. Evil Dead world and you're the 4th man, like you're the new recruit to the Ash vs. Evil Dead team, and
that could work.
You join Pablo, Kelly, and Ash. Oh, man, that'd be neat. I'd love to do that, but yeah, that one's probably not gonna happen. But still, I think that'd be sick.
Ghostbuster style.
Yeah, right. That'd be cool. Thoughts on the Last of Us franchise? So I played both of them, and I did a spoiler-free review of the second one. And then I did a 2-hour plus discussion with Elijah for one of our most recent episodes of Make Every Death Count, our podcast that if you haven't watched it, you should, or listen to. If you aren't listening to Make Every Death Count, you should. We post episodes all the time. I think you'd enjoy it. If you enjoy if you enjoy what you're watching right now, I think you really enjoy the podcast. But yeah, I like the second one more than most, but I won't go into too much detail on that. You can just check out our reviews. The first one, though, I think is one of the best games of all time. I think story-wise, like single-player games, I think it is the best of all time. So, I see Jonathan Ivey make his way in here, huh?
Hey.
Love Jonathan Ivey, man. Hopefully, well, I mean, I hope your event happens, John, but I also was kind of hope to see you at Scarefest, but obviously I want your event to be successful, so the last thing I want is that for you delayed, but there is a pro if it is. I'd see a Jaws remake? No, but just because there's so many fucking shark movies. Like, there's no point. Just make another shark movie. You don't need to call it Jaws.
I think it's in the same realm as Back to the Future. You can't touch it anymore.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. And you know, there's so many shark movies out there. There is no point in making it just another shark movie and labeling it as Jaws. No. And if you're just gonna do the exact same story as Jaws and that's your remake of it, then fuck it, what a waste. That's a waste of time. That's stupid. Don't do that. It's not a movie that, I mean, it would benefit some from modern day technology because of the shark itself, you know, looking realistic or more realistic. But dude, it's not enough to me anyway to remake it. Caleb, what's up, man? Man, I don't know how to pronounce this. Keaton McComb, $2 super chat, no message. I appreciate it. Hope I didn't butcher your name. I don't think Back to the Future, as long as Bob Zemeckis is alive and legally owns the rights, which would be for another like 100 years, I think we'll be okay. I don't think Back to the Future will ever be touched unless a really big paycheck comes his way. Do you think they'll make a sequel to Child's Play 2019? If you'd asked me 6 months ago before the pandemic, yes. Now, don't know if it's worth it.
Well, I think they will.
I would say it's more like I would give it like a 60-40 chance.
The thing is, if they were already had a movie in development and they were planning on releasing this year and COVID forced them to do a VOD release, I think they would have done it already. Like they would have done it. Like, I feel like it's not going to do as good as it did in theaters, the first one. So I feel like going straight to VOD would have worked out when they didn't have a choice.
Maybe. Maybe. There's a reason. I talked about this in today's video. I think there's a reason that most of these horror movies are making the choice to delay rather than just VOD. And, like, honest to God, how much money do you think horror movies make based on, like, teen dating or younger generation going on a date to scare their girlfriend or this girl they're dating? So, they're snuggled up watching a horror movie. I bet you it's a lot of money that comes from horror movies and the dating scenario surrounding it. Mm-hmm. A lot of casual viewers are watching horror movies, and like don't get me wrong, us horror fans, we'll watch it either way. Renting in a VOD, that's fine, but I think they'll end up taking a pretty big cut that comes from your teen date movies. One of the reasons that like the Conjuring shit they do so well, despite no longer being original, is that one, you can make them cheap, and teen date movies.
Annabelle happened, and Annabelle creation.
Yeah, and look at some of the reviews that came out for Annabelle that weren't from casual or weren't from legit horror fans. It was like, oh my god, the scariest movie I've ever seen. It's like, no, stop. But yeah, that's a perfect example, dude. Annabelle made all its money, and the reason the Conjuring universe continues, even with the spin-offs like that, is because of things like teen dates. bu- 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 You have 2 plain white masks from 2. All right, so 2 masks from the franchise. I got you. Which 2 masks from the franchise should you create? Well, is there any damage to them? Because if not, you're limited. You could. Is there like an axe cut or anything like that? I'm gonna assume there's not. I imagine they're like China blanks. In which case, 3 is obviously the no-brainer there. And then it gets a little tricky because, like, I think every other mask has an axe cut in it, except for 5. 5 doesn't, right? No, 5.
Well,
Did they? Why am I zoning out? That's funny. I have the mask like right over there. No, it doesn't. Okay, I was making sure. That's what I thought. Just had to make sure. So yeah, 3 and 5 are easy to do if there's no damage under the mask. Jin versus Candyman thoughts. That's interesting. I mean, dude, you got to give it to Jin in that one because it's like an almighty force. The ability to control like really anything. Your wish is my command, But so is Candyman, so I don't know. It'd be interesting, that's for sure. Danny, those are cool. My guy, the $10 donation. No message with it, just a dono. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
That's true. You could also just add damage yourself to the mask. I'm just saying. The two masks to me that are my favorite in my hockey mask collection. Part 7, I love. I think Part 7 has a beautiful look. And then actually, I don't know, man. Like that, probably just Part 3. Probably just simple. Part 3 or Part 4. But yeah, I mean, I think all of them look pretty cool. I even love the Part 5 I got. I like the blue chevrons. Part 8, I also love the look of Part 8. I know Part 8 like awkwardly widens out the mask and it looks a lot different than the rest, but still, I like the Part 8 mask. Hi, Squidward.
Hi, Squidward.
What do you think of the Samurai Predator? In my short time playing as him, I was having some issues, which is a common bug, I guess, right now, where your second weapon just disappears. And I know you can fix it by, deleting your save memory, but I just didn't do that during the stream, and I haven't played since. But I will say, despite that issue, the stats that come with the Samurai Predator definitely fit my playstyle the most, with a little extra bump in that health. So, yeah, but still not as slow or big and clunky as Berserker. I think that's it. I think the combo that the stats that the Samurai Predator has fits my playstyle the most. As for the Katana, although the Katana is really powerful, and I can totally understand why some people absolutely love it, and it's I don't know why they can dominate with it. I just didn't like the swinging animation that it had. I found myself like missing because I was so used to using like just the wrist blades, so I didn't like that too much. I wouldn't see myself using that all that often, but the Samurai Predator itself is pretty dope. I just got a notification that Wes is streaming as well.
What the fuck, Wes?
Spooky things with a chill vibe. I'm assuming he's just continuing his work on his fog diorama, which is always fun. But the worst part about that? That means he's not going to stop by and say hi. And now I'm sad. Usually always makes his presence known in here. Oh, wait. Here we go.
Yep.
This makes... Yep, he's working on the fog diorama. Just got the noti. Are you going to get the PS5 or the Xbox Series X? I'm going to ultimately get both. Because that's who I fucking am as a person. I ultimately will get both. I just don't know which one I'm going to get first. I'm hoping I can just get both at the same time, but, money and stuff.
That'd be an empty bank account real quick.
Yeah, money and stuff. If they can stay at 500 each, I'm already like starting to put a little bit of money aside for it. If they're at 500 each, maybe that's possible to get them both right away, but I think they're going to look at like 700-ish, which sucks. I think the one that I'm more interested exclusive-wise at right away is definitely the PS5. But ultimately, at some point, I will get both.
It depends, because PlayStation, Sony had their little video conference. couple weeks ago, and Xbox we haven't gotten like that yet. Once we get their what would have been their E3 conference, then we'll see some of the exclusives that are coming to Xbox. Honestly, I'm probably going to end up getting the PS5 first, and then mosey on to the Xbox Series X.
Yeah. Yep. That's probably the plan. Rumor is the Xbox Series X is going to be $250 for the cheaper model. They're literally losing money at that point. There's some, I don't know, maybe for that cheaper model they changed the specs, but I've never seen them do that before, really, other than hard drive size. So, yeah, I don't think that's. They're not making shit for profit off of a $250 price point. That's why I didn't think they were making shit for profit off a $500 price point. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if they're at $600-700. By the way, I would happily play it with anybody else in any game. Any other YouTubers that play any game. But I know Bloodthirsty Lord comes up all the time because he's pretty much the only consistent Predator content creator out there. Yeah, I would happily play with it. I can't play on fucking PC right now, so we couldn't really set anything up, but
time zones too.
Yeah, time zones. We're like, what are we, 13 hours apart, I think. So yeah, that would be a bit of a pain, but he's up late anyway. We could probably make it work.
He was up this morning around 9 o'clock our time. I mean, if we really want to get up that early.
Maybe. Like I said, I can't even be until they add crossplay play invites. Until they add crossplay invites, I can't really play with them because right now, for whatever stupid ass reason that I had to try to figure out again, my PC just cannot play Predator Hunting Grounds. It's not a spec issue, by the way. It's just something that is stopping me from loading into a game. I don't understand it. Top 3 of what the new game Gunn is working on could be. Top 3, huh?
I mean, Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween's obviously the big one.
Keep in mind, this is of no confirmation. This is like a wish list.
Yeah, that's all it is.
and also, like, what could make sense, there's the Halloween franchise is going on right now, so it would make sense that, and Blum has showed interest in gaming, and Ryan Turek is a gamer, so that it's not impossible to think that there wouldn't be a Halloween game out there right now, and our wish list would be Gun Media, obviously. Fans.
The big question that I have for Gunn's next game is it licensed? That's something I'm really curious about. And like, my guess is yes, it is licensed, and just because of, I mean, look at how Ilphonic kind of like easily scooped up a gig with Warner Bros. And made Predator Hunting Grounds. Now you have to realize that like Gunn could theoretically should be able to do the same thing. If you just look at the numbers that Friday the 13th produced, I would assume they're in a good spot to pitch to people for a new IP game. So if that's the case, and we're assuming that they got a licensed game, what are the top 3 licenses we'd want to see as a game?
I mean, obviously, I think the 3 that, you talk about the big 5, slash franchises. Well, we have Friday the 13th, so I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Child's Play.
Child's Play.
They pretty much said that they wouldn't do it when we interviewed Wes.
Yeah. Ronnie was like, yeah, you just fucking kick him. Yeah. Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You could go down the road to like My Bloody Valentine. As cool as that would be, but I don't think that IP is big enough to do anything with it, honestly.
I mean, yeah, you look at those franchises, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise has a sequel or another movie coming in production. Halloween obviously has 2 movies in production. and Nightmare on Elm Street, the rights is getting all figured out so they can make another movie. Those franchises are, quote, alive compared to Friday the 13th, which has been dormant. But also the dormancy of Friday the 13th helped bring it back into relevancy again. So maybe there is a lesser franchise out there that they're looking to get a game to kickstart a whole new generation of fans. Maybe My Bloody Valentine could be in the works. And then, you bring new fans to that franchise, and then boom, we're getting a sequel to the remake, or we're getting another remake.
Dude, Texas Chainsaw Massacre hasn't had a good movie, and I don't even know how long. Dude, Texas, that's the thing about Texas, is that, like, if you look at Friday the 13th, and we've always said this, if you look at Texas, the one IP to take the Friday the 13th game concept and twist it up a little bit, turn it around, make it a little, change it for that IP, is Texas. Like, I think Leatherface in the world of Friday the 13th game works. You just had to change the, I don't know, because you can't just have it. I mean, you could just have it as, being in like a open field of Texas and the creepy ass house and basement, things like that, and just have Leatherface chasing you. But I kind of think you have to incorporate the family somehow too. I don't know. It'd be tricky, but out of all the IPs, the one that Friday the 13th, the game could transfer to the easiest is Texas. Nightmare on Elm Street would be wild, though. I hope a Nightmare on Elm Street game happens someday, but I think it kind of has to be single player.
I agree.
And that's kind of why I would say Gunn is probably not doing Nightmare on Elm Street. They could be, and they're definitely fans enough to do it. But they've always been very consistent that they want to only do multiplayer games. Like, that's kind of their niche. It works for them. And they think that's where the future of gaming is like exclusively multiplayer type of games. So I'm assuming that those two things. I'm assuming they're working on a horror license. I'm assuming they're working on a multiplayer game.
Yeah. I guess just to clear some of the chat, Gun Media are not developers. They do not have any game development
Correct
skills in the trade. They're publishers. Ilphonic and Black Tower were the developers on the game.
Yes, they
Media did not develop anything.
Yeah, but one thing that's so cool about them as publishers, and it is why it's really important to me that they work on another horror license. I don't care really what it is. I just want them to do it. Is because they also handle a lot of the creativity with it, and they drive things like the virtual cabin that we have in Friday the 13th. That wasn't like Ilphonic's idea, right? Like, that was Gunn's idea that Ilphonic brought to life. And that's what... did I say that backwards? No.
Oh.
No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I was just making sure. Yeah, but Gunn has so many unique ideas that really tailor to fans of the Friday the 13th franchise. But at the same time, they also created a play style that could hit a new generation of people who don't even care about the movies. And that's why I like them so much with the game. That's something they absolutely nailed with Friday the 13th. It was catering to fans, like the virtual cabin and the atmosphere and things like that, and all the Easter eggs. But at the same time, you could go in without ever being a Friday the 13th movie fan and have a blast. And that's why I like Gunn. That's why I want to see them have another horror franchise. That's why I specifically want them to have Halloween, because I care so much about Halloween that I know that they would do it justice, and I don't know how many other publishers out there I trust to handle something like Halloween. Who knows? It's kind of scares me a little bit thinking about a Halloween game. Like, and Russ here just brought up that a Halloween game in the same vein as Friday the 13th would work perfect, and I don't know if I actually agree. And let me explain why. Of course, like, if you're looking at the simplistic side of things, like, Michael is just a slasher. Yes, you could just spawn in like you do now as counselors at Friday the 13th, and Michael could just chase all over the place, yada, 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 in, like, on Lampkin Lane. like Dead by Daylight, for example. But I think if you're truly following what is Halloween, I think if you're truly following that, I would say you need some sort of character. That's almost why I almost would prefer a single-player game when it comes to Halloween. Although Halloween, I think, is way easier to do multiplayer than, like, Nightmare is. But, like, yeah, you gotta have characters somehow that you like, and then there's more suspense-driven with Halloween. I don't know, it's not... Halloween's never been, here are a bunch of tropes, stereotypical camp counselors, go kill them, Michael. Don't get me wrong, there's some weaker Halloween films that get closer to that, but they've always had characters and a deeper story, and likable characters is the big one. Established characters. I don't think you can just throw in people like Friday the 13th does. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I would sell either way. Anything with Halloween on it would sell, but especially now. Telltale Scream game would be so fucking cool, dude. Telltale could do so many different horror games that would be amazing. Any story-based horror game Telltale could take and run with. Because to me, what Telltale is, it is comic books the game. That's how I've always like seen Telltale. And like you bigger horror nerds out there that read all your horror comics know that is, it works for everything, man. Like Friday the 13th comics are really cool. The Nightmare on Elm Street comics are really cool. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre comics are really cool. So to take that concept and that butterfly, not so much butterfly effect, but being able to make your choices as you go, I think that Telltale could do it with anything. Do you agree, Nick? You still texting over there?
I'm not texting. I'm listening.
Huh?
I agree.
I agree.
I 100% agree with whatever you just said.
Oh, so you're not even listening to me.
Was.
All right, what'd I say? Repeat it all back, word for word.
You ever heard the tale of Dark Play Against the Wise?
No.
Oh, really? I mean, basically, your main point was it would work better, Halloween the game, better in a single player, Telltale, story base.
I mean, I wasn't saying Halloween would work better in that. I was just saying Telltale games in general.
Yes.
Because somebody mentioned Scream. But
yes. I mean, yeah, Halloween, Scream. I mean, really, they all do. Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a single player, Telltale story based horror suspense driven game work very well. Jeepers Creepers would absolutely make a killing. Obviously, you know, it's not going to happen. Scream would definitely work, especially if there's just phone calls all the time.
Yeah. I think it'd be pretty sick. Scream especially would fit that really well. What other scripts do you have planned for Little Mad? So I can't promise we'll do all these scripts, but I have enough scripts downloaded to fit like 3 years of content for Little Mad. So I have a lot, and you know, we just kind of pick and choose as we go. We have some original ones, unproduced original horror scripts that play into some things I like. Some whodunit scripts that I think are going to be a lot of fun that we'll get to soon. We just read through half of a script on Monday. We're going to do the other half this coming Monday. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's been a lot of fun so far. Would you like to see Jack Torrance in The Overlook and Dead by Daylight? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is the one chapter that would be so amazing that is not really being talked about. Like, dude, how fucking cool would it be? Because one, he could have voice lines, and you could definitely get somebody. I know, you know, Chad Nichols probably wouldn't do it, but you could definitely find somebody to do impressions of Jack Torrance and make it happen. And yeah, and he could be yelling shit at you as he's chasing you, and with his little fucking limp, and you could be in the Overlook Hotel, and all the doors are blocked out, but you can still see like the winter like storm through the windows, and then the gate is like the main entrance and like the back entrance, something like that. And when you open the exit gate, it's a snowy ass storm with wind and snow flying over you. It'd be so fucking cool, dude.
I mean that as a single player suspense driven horror game, even in a Telltale format, would be wild.
Yeah, yeah. Shining. Well, because you basically would be telling the same story. I don't know.
Unless you expanded. You expanded on The Shining and Doctor Sleep, like maybe you made like an in between type of thing, or maybe even somewhat of a prequel where you'd have to make your own story, I would think.
Yeah, probably. That's another thing. The maze, as much as like I don't know how you'd incorporate the outside part of the Dead by Day, like the Overlook Hotel, into a Dead by Daylight map and like have the best of both worlds, especially because the hotel is also huge. So they'd have to really be creative within like bringing down the hotel a little bit. But yeah, dude, being able to run in through the maze. It had to change because that could be really confusing and you could hide really easily and the killer could, be miserable in that experience. But
yeah, and we got even something a little like that in a little independent horror game that we played, Horror Legends. Remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had sort of a maze going and it was enough where it was like suspense driven, but you could still it wasn't a death trap if you couldn't get out of the maze.
Yeah, Hide or Die has a section in.
Oh yeah,
that is a bit of a maze as well.
Yeah,
but there's the thing about those games. Well, I don't know. I can't remember if Horror Legends had like a sense ability, but Hide or Die is like that sense presence, so you'll know if somebody's in the maze or not. But that's one thing that Dead by Daylight doesn't have, that you could easily hide because of that. But yeah, I don't know, they could just rework it a little bit and they could make it work. Telltale Games presents The Exorcist. Waste of time. Havoc, what's up, man? Even before Grady, HBO doesn't do that, huh?
That would have been crazy, I think.
Yeah. Halloween games be like Alien Isolation. Dude, I think any classic slasher, really almost any horror film ever, but definitely all those classic slasher movies, especially the more suspense-driven ones. Oh, dude, Alien Isolation, that format that they brought with an AI killer has the potential to be terrifying, and that's why things like the Virtual Cabin 2.0 were so fucking exciting. The fact that an AI Jason was always around, like that, even though the Virtual Cabin 2.0 is literally nothing more than like an escape room puzzle situation, it is so cool and it's creepy. Like there's moments that you're actually like, oh my fuck, like Jason could be anywhere. Like that would be so much fun to do that and across all the slashers. But at the same time, I say the same thing for Until Dawn. Until Dawn and the butterfly effect and following basically a whole new movie would be cool as well. I'm definitely interested in Little Hope, by the way. I think Little Hope looks cool. I think people might be sleeping on it. I think it might be better than people think. I know Man of Medan was definitely weaker, but I think Little Hope has potential to really outshine that heavily and be closer to Until Dawn. I don't know if it'll be better than Until Dawn. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think it'll definitely be better than Man of Medan. Until Dawn, like Friday the 13th. Yeah, exactly. And on it, like F-13 type of game. Now, that's one I think Telltale would really shine in as well. To do a Stranger Things type of Telltale game. Also, Stranger Things Telltale game would be sick. But like, yeah, Stranger Things sort of feel... but mix it with Pennywise and it and bring it into the Telltale world. I think that would make more sense. I don't know if a multiplayer Pennywise game would work all that well. Pennywise is one of those characters where I think you could just put him in a Dead by Daylight and have, because it's very similar to how the game would be anyway. So yeah, that's one of those characters that either you make a single player game or something like that, or you toss them in a Dead by Daylight with a really cool map and a sewer map, a sewer section of the map as well would be really cool. Yeah, and then just run with that.
It'd be interesting to get like a It game where it's sort of like Telltale, where you have like or like Until Dawn, like with flashbacks and stuff like that. Like you're moving in between being the kids and then being the adults. And maybe the Pennywise that you see when you're the kids is the miniseries, 90s miniseries Pennywise, and then when they're adults, you see the remake, the new Pennywise.
Yeah.
Mix in like that. That'd be wild. I would love to see that, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, like, I don't know, a lot of Stephen King shit, I don't think you'll ever see anything for it, but whatever. Like Reanimator? Yeah, dude, of course. Bride of Reanimator? Of course. Return of the Reanimator?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all Leatherface outfits, I do wish those were in Dead by Daylight. I'm really curious to why they aren't. Even like having like the remake look for Leatherface would be cool to see in Dead by Daylight, but oh well. Missed opportunity thus far. What if Jason and Michael had a crossover movie? I always think those are like the two icons that I'd want to see on film together. I just don't know how you do it. Because the reason Freddy and Jason work so well is because Freddy, where Jason lacks personality, Freddy could really bring it back. And like, he could talk. You know, Freddy could talk and keep things exciting if they're battling. You can't do that with Michael and Jason. There is no conversation to be had, so there'd be a lot of awkward silence.
Right.
And, you know, the fact that they're non-talking killers is fine when you have a talking protagonist running away from him. But when it's two non-talking killers just facing off, you're relying heavily on just fighting and music. And I don't know how far that... And also just seeing them fist fight sounds cool, right? But I don't know if that would... I don't know if it would really work. Like I said, I think it'd be cool. I think those are the two characters that I want to see in like the same film somehow. I just don't know if like a versus movie would really work.
Yeah, I agree.
Anthony, what's up, dude? What if Lori was about to get killed by Jason and Mike's just like, no fucker, she's mine? Yeah, but then
that's my sister.
That's maybe then they're, I don't know, like, cause if you've ever seen, what the fuck is that movie called? That, crap. I don't remember what it was. Papa Hopateo, my guy. Thanks for the host. Shit. Though from Blinky. Man, whatever. It's a Michael versus Jason fan film. Whatever. But it mixes Tommy Jarvis with John Tate, and has them kind of like squad up. Friday the 31st. Thank you. Yeah, and it kind of has them cross over in that way. And I thought, like, that'd be kind of neat if you could take Tommy. It's funny because now you could even do it today. You could do it in today's world and have an aged Tom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis with an aged Laurie Strode with Jamie Lee Curtis, and have an interesting mix there. I don't know what would bring New Jersey Jason to Illinois Michael, or vice versa, but well, I mean, I guess we've seen Michael go across the country to find Laurie before, so maybe Laurie moves to Wessex County, New Jersey. I don't fucking know. I don't. Who knows? Yeah, the last fan film that is just Michael and Jason, just them fighting, is Trent Duncan, who's a friend of mine. We actually went to the same film festival once. It was cool to see him there. Well, not see him there. He wasn't actually physically there. Our films screened next to each other. But I did talk to him for a while about that. Trent Duncan's cool, man. He's a cool dude. And that's literally all his fan films really are now. Are just straight up fight scenes between horror icons, but they're still cool. Are you rooting Clive Barker? I mean, I think anybody that's trying to like reclaim their rights because they sold them off way too cheap, and now the franchise is worth so much more money. As an author, I mean, I'm rooting for him. Clive Barker is iconic, man. He's made so many iconic stories, and to see Hellraiser's been a disaster for a long time. And if Clive Barker were to take it and hopefully do something cool with it, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Lawsuit is still going. Have you seen the show Ghost Adventures? I love Ghost Adventures. There's a new Ghost Adventures. I just saw a trailer for it today. It was Ghost Adventures Quarantine. Ghost Adventures Quarantine is currently a thing. And I saw a clip from it today, and it looked pretty cool. And I mean, 99% of it is definitely over the top and probably set up, but I think they are a lot of fun. A lot of fun with those shows. Yeah, the latest F13 update should be available on all platforms.
Switch.
I thought so.
I don't.
Wrong, but I thought so. Maybe not though. Either way, Xbox, PS4, and PC definitely. I can definitely confirm those ones. Reboot of the franchise or sequel? Let me get to that in a second. Let me answer this super chat from Keita McComb again. I'm again totally guessing on your first name. I apologize. $2 super chat said, "Love the YouTube." Thanks. Did you hear Jason might come to Dead by Daylight? Well, yeah, I was right there with Paulie. I was right there with Paulie with the goddamn tinfoil hat, hoping that thing was going to happen. I still like. Technically, legally, there are some loopholes to make it possible, but I really, if it wasn't that last one, my confidence in it has gone down tremendously, needless to say. But I'd like to see it. I think it'd be cool. I think there's room for both worlds to have an F13 game and still have Jason Dead by Daylight, just how like Jason's in Mortal Kombat. I don't think there's any issues with that. More Jason, the better, if you're asking me, man. Yeah.
By the way, I can confirm it was all platforms.
Okay, there you go. That's what I thought.
It was at 10 p.m. Eastern U.S. time.
There you go. Okay. Haven't played SpongeBob yet. I want to. All right. Anthony asked about it, when they eventually someday make another movie. What would you rather have? I think he said, I don't think he only gave me two options. It was a reboot or a sequel to the original franchise. Let me tell you what I actually would prefer. I would actually like to see a remake or a sequel to the remake. That's what I would prefer. I think that'd be sick.
Without Jared Padalecki.
No. With Jared Padalecki. And while you're at it, throw in Jensen Ackles in there as like a long lost cousin or something.
Named Tom Hanniger. What?
Yeah, something like that. That's what I would prefer. I think the remake is slept on. I understand there's weaker characters and shit. You don't have to explain to me. I get why people don't like it. I really do. I don't understand how you can hate. I don't understand you can love the first one and hate the remake. I don't get that. Because I think there are just as good as characters in the remake as there are in the original, because all the characters sucked then too. Most of them. Alice was great, all right? Don't get me wrong, but so was Jared, all right? Damn it. But yeah, I think that's what I prefer, but I would say what they're gonna do is probably just start fresh, have a whole other reboot. What would you prefer?
Well, I would like a sequel to the remake, but 11, 12, 13 years after.
Right. No, I agree.
They're 13 years older.
Right, no, I agree. I hear you. I mean, Jared looks the same, to be fair.
Yes, he's about the only one.
Yep, still sexier than ever. But I mean, it's just him and Whitney. I don't know what she's looking like these days. And Derek's fine. So
yeah, Derek Mears is still shredded.
Yeah. But yeah, as for like a sequel to the original franchise, I don't know if there's really room for that, because at this point, like you have to ignore some of the sequels if you're gonna do that. And if you want to make a really confusing timeline, that's how you fucking do it. Halloween's already confusing enough, right? But at least they threw away everything. You know, they were like, okay, everything's gone except for the first. Friday the 13th can't really do that.
I think if anything, they would do a sequel to like a direct sequel to 4 if they could get Corey Feldman. Or a direct sequel to 6 if Tom McLaughlin was at the helm.
Was Nick Antosca's script the one that had like the 3 different killers? Or was that the other dudes? That wasn't Tosca's, right? I'm pretty sure it was Nick Antosca's that had like Pamela, Dad. Or it was Dad, Pamela, Jason. I can't remember though.
There was one.
Oh, so it was the other dudes that. Okay, so Nick Antosca's is fine. I like Nick's. Yeah, the other dude, that I didn't like that one at all. Pancake Lover, $5 super chat. So you guys still have faith in F13 the game coming back and getting content? I still do for sure. Well, first of all, thank you for the super chat. And truthfully, no. I always still got like a little piece in my heart that says, maybe. But no, I'm looking more forward to Gun's next game at this point, whatever it may be. And hopefully, man, can something good happen in 2020? Can we get some announcements for future horror games in 2021 and just prepare ourselves for a better year? So we can, Gun, make an announcement. We can hear some more about the Evil Dead game. Anything along those lines. That'd be great. Thanks. Yeah, maybe we should read through the Nick and Tosca script. I'm a little mad, huh? Because it is out there. Have you seen the movie Leprechaun? Yeah, of course, man.
Oh yeah,
it's Jennifer Aniston's first movie. Can't not see that. Do I think they should bring the franchise back? No, not really. And especially because that's another franchise that went all over the place. And then when they tried to reboot it and bring it back with like Hornswoggle, it was like, what are we doing? It's not good. What seems more likely, Jason and Dead by Daylight or a sequel to the actual F13 game? Well, in that,
why not both?
Why not both? That's the scenario we all like, right? Get the best of both worlds. I obviously in that scenario, Jason Dead by Daylight is way easier to do, way cheaper, and because there's already an F13 game, a sequel coming out so soon, it seems extremely unlikely. But yeah, so Jason Dead by Daylight is obviously more plausible, but which is better, dude? Dead by Daylight or F13? I know Nick prefers Dead by Daylight.
So, but that's not the question. It's which is better. And the correct answer is you can't really compare them.
Yeah, no, that's what I always say about them. You can't really... They're just not very comparable games. They're so different. Their playstyle's so different. The only thing that is the same is that there's a killer and you're trying to get away from it. But really, man, like Dead by Daylight is more simplistic at its core, although the perks are way more advanced. The competitive nature of it is quite a bit different. But yeah, it's because it's fixing generators, doing this, and escaping out the gates. It's limited in terms of what you do. Friday the 13th has more options and things like that, but it's not as... I would say F13 fits more into like a... I don't even know, like arcade type of experience. It's hard to explain. The thing with Dead by Daylight, it's more of a competitive game than F13 in every way, shape, or form. You have a rank system where you're constantly trying to grind and get to this competitive rank, and yeah, and for that reason, I think it tends to be more suspenseful or more on the edge of your seat, intense and frustrating as well. For that reason, you can get really pissed off if things go wrong. I hear that every day of the week, let me tell you. But F13, yeah, more of a laid-back experience, but cooler kills for sure. Yeah, very different games. That's all I'm really trying to say.
Yeah. You can't really... hard to compare them, say which one's better. I mean, obviously, if you have a personal preference, you can say that. I prefer Friday the 13th over Dead by Daylight. If I was stuck on an island and could only play those 2 games 10 times, or like total, I'd probably do like, I'd say probably right now, six times I'd pick F13 to 4 times Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. F13's competitive. Like, it's competitive in the game itself. Like, you're competitive, you want to escape, you want to, or if you're Jason, you want to get all the kills and things like that, but there's no system that makes it competitive, right? Like, you're not... That's why Dead by Daylight's so cool, because you need to succeed, you need to get this amount of points every game because you want to try getting your rank higher. There is no rank when it comes to F13. At the end of the day, all of it's just fun. It's all just fun.
We're having fun.
We're having fun. That's why I say it's more of a laid-back experience. Yes, there are some really exciting chase scenes and things like that, and you can get into some cool things that are intense, especially like Sabine Score. I saw that brought up. But yeah, it's overall, it's a more laid-back experience with friends. Dead by Daylight, not so much. Very competitive.
It can be competitive if you make it.
Yeah, it just depends. Yeah, it depends what you're doing. But like I said, Dead by Daylight is framed to be competitive. F13 is not.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, £2 super chats. A Candyman coming to Dead by Daylight when? Honestly, that's my guess. Yeah, my guess is that next chapter. The new chapter does land in. Yeah, it lands in September. I don't know. It seems like it'd be a great cross promotion of the movie and the game. I'm just saying. That's what I would do if I was them. See, Brian, that's the mentality I like to see. Yeah, that's how we were. I used to play for a little bit, especially like when Halloween, when like that chapter dropped. I like tried it out for the first time then, and I struggled to get into it at first because there's such a big learning curve with it. Like well, let me clarify. Dead by Daylight's an easy game to start playing, but it's a really hard game to master. It's the same thing like Rocket League. The concept, playing it, picking up a controller and going, you could do that very well. But to master it and be really great at it it takes a long time. And for that reason, it can be really discouraging when you start playing, and it can really just piss you off and make you stop playing right away. But if you stick with it and you learn, it can be an absolute blast. And yeah, I love both. How long do we expect Dead by Daylight to keep coming out with new content? They got time. They got a lot left in them.
The thing is, like, they're taking time to update some of the assets and stuff like that, and they look way better in the lighting with fog and everything.
Yeah.
They're prepping for the long haul.
Yep.
And right now they're on top, and there is no competitor. Friday the 13th was the closest thing they had to a competitor, and then when the content got stopped, their uptick graph just took a shit. Like, Dead by Daylight is the king right now. It will be for this foreseeable future. As long as, I mean, the original content people are buying into more now than they did, the last 3 years. So they can go for quite a while. They're setting themselves up for a long ride.
Yeah, I don't know how much licensed content they really have left in them. They're definitely limited in that category, but they've always made really unique and cool original killers. And I often think that's actually where they excel. Of course, licensed chapters are the biggest for promoting the game and bringing in newer players. But yeah, original content, they do just fine, and they often sell just fine as well. So they'll be all right. They'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Toasted, what's going on? Any odds on the happening Dead by Daylight that was familiar to F13, or are they protected from that? No, they're fine. Because, like, if something like that ever comes up in their scenario, they just don't make the content. And, like, once they release the content, it's safe, right? Like, you can't do shit then. They can't... That F13, like, everything that already happened is fine. All that stuff's safe. But, it's everything now that we can't get. That's the issue with it. So once Dead by Daylight releases a chapter, that's it. They already have the contract done. They're good. Unless somehow in the midst of them working on a chapter, a lawsuit came up that stopped them from working on it, although that's extremely unlikely. But if that were to happen, then they just don't release the chapter. That's all it is. And they probably never even announced that they were doing that chapter.
Exactly. That's the thing. F13, to keep hype going, had to announce things decently in advance. Dead by Daylight takes the approach where they'll do little teases here and there, and then if something happens, they can try to flip and spin it as much as possible to get something else. Like with the Pyramid Head, the Silent Hill chapter, you got nothing. And then they were like, "Hey, stay tuned to the anniversary stream to watch the reveal."
Yeah.
So yeah. So if something would have happened, say if Silent Hill were to have gotten into a dispute with something or whatever, and they couldn't release that content, they wouldn't have announced it.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks, all the shit that got announced for F13, that we kind of, that's the worst part, that we know and now we're not going to get it. That's the worst part.
Yeah, honestly, people wouldn't be as upset if we never got ending of Virtual Cabin 2.0 with Uber, Jason, and Grendel. People have been like, "Oh, a pajama pack, that's it." And even then, that wasn't even confirmed. That could have been single player challenges assets.
Yeah.
So really, they would have been like, "Okay, that's the end. No more. That sucks." No, none of us even thought Uber, Jason, and Grendel would even be possible.
Yeah.
Till they said, "Hey, we're doing it," and then of course everything happened.
Yep. Super quick for those that are just joining the stream and didn't hear about the lawsuit, quote unquote update. Like I said, super small update. Really, the update is that Larry Zerner came out and talked about how that there is no update. Basically, is that it's really odd right now, the fact that we still haven't heard anything on the lawsuit, and because of the pandemic, we're in a situation now where it's like it could be at any time. It could be tomorrow, or it could be several months from now. It's weird. It's a weird situation, and it's odd, to say the least. But we're still here waiting every day, hoping every day that news drops. But all we're waiting for is the judge's decision, and then it comes down to settling and things like that, because they still have to come to an agreement logistically. So, but they won't even start doing that until the decision comes out surrounding this court case. Sucks, man. I've heard the rumors about Silent Hill as well, that Konami is trying to make a little bit of a comeback in the Silent Hill world, which would be pretty wild, let me tell you. Do you think we would have got that robot girl instead of Tommy? Yeah, that was leaked, actually. I don't know if it necessarily was a Tommy character. I would assume that's the case, but we know that KM14 was in the game.
Oh yeah, Alan, 100%. Crossplay in Dead by Daylight will add even more time to the doomsday clock of the end of Dead by Daylight. Like, it's still got years. Dead by Daylight does, and Stranger Things helped.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably helped them get to the point where they could start implementing crossplay and testing it.
Yeah, I hope crossplay isn't a fucking disaster, dude. Because like to this day, Dead by Daylight servers are some of the shittiest servers I've ever played on. To have a dedicated server that is so latency filled is just weird to me, and so they need to get that straightened out. But now the fact that they're going on to like crossplay servers and try to pack all that in, like, I just have concerns about it. I'm worried that the latency is going to become even worse, and but I'm hoping that it won't become worse, and it should help with wait times as well. Not so much. Well, it depends on what content just came out and the day of the week. But a lot of times, playing as Survivor takes forever to find a game. So if that could change, that would be nice. Would Jason Blum like Gunmedia make a Halloween game? I think Jason Blum is full gung ho when it comes to making a Halloween game. But you never know. There's so many like legal things that come into play with Halloween, and how many different companies have been involved in the franchise as a whole. And yeah, what's the money looking like? I think Jason Blum already made it pretty clear that he would like to do a game. He'd like to get into the gaming world, so that'd be cool. But he doesn't have a say when it comes to a lot of the franchise. What time is it? All right, we'll keep this going for a wee bit longer. I do have quite a bit of things to do tonight, though. I'm gonna be up pretty late again, every freaking time.
Little side note. Did you hear about the NFL?
What about the NFL?
Preseason, it's 1 and 4. Basically, like cut.
Wait, preseason
Weeks 1 and 4. Like preseason weeks 1 and 4. So like, basically, there's going to be a week before or after camp that they have their first preseason game. It's just going to be a week of nothing, and then after there's going to be 2 preseason games. Weeks of preseason, and then another week, and then the regular season starts.
So it's still 4 weeks, though. That's still
technically,
it still starts at the same time, though. The regular season does.
Correct. That's the word right now.
Okay.
The regular season still starts at the same time. There's just going to be 2 less preseason games. So it's like basically, yeah, they're getting rid of week 1 of the preseason and week 3 or week 4 of the preseason, and just having weeks off in between start of the season and the preseason.
Okay. I mean, I guess it doesn't really change anything for us as fans, but
they're looking at also signing or having fans sign waivers that say they can't, like, NFL is not responsible if they get corona. They can still, have fans and make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a risk I'm willing to take.
I'm a level with you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a risk I'm willing to take. Listen, every time I go to an event or something, I'm just going to avoid my parents and elderly for 2 weeks after that. I will be very safe anywhere I go. Hand sanitizer in my back pocket at all times. Going to be wearing the mask, doing my part. But dude, they're like the fuck, like the Texans are coming to Chicago this year. How am I supposed to not go to that? I'm supposed to go to Pittsburgh in September to see that game. How could I not go to that? Right. These are the opportunities that I can't miss out on. Then we didn't get really a chance to talk about it too much publicly, but we will be at Days of the Dead Indianapolis on the topic of events. We will be at Days of the Dead Indianapolis July 18th and 19th, so that's Saturday and Sunday of that convention. So if you're in the area, want to meet us, want to meet the rest of the people there, so be it. Come hang out, we'll have a good time, and we'll do it safely. All right.
Which still, if it happens, the fact that we're and there is still a possibility that they cancel it is kind of scary.
Yes.
When was Flashback?
Flashback was July 31st through August 2nd, and
so they cut it 4.5 weeks early.
Yeah, I would assume that Indy is pretty locked in.
The thing is, though, with everything happening, Indianapolis is looking at shutting down.
That's true.
Again.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a.
I hope so. Or I hope it's safe enough where we can still go to Indy.
Yeah. How do you think the Mask? That's what you're saying. The character The Mask would fit in the Mortal Kombat franchise. I mean, dude, Mortal Kombat's always been kind of like cartoony, It's an arcade game at the end of the day. Well, it was, I think you could do something pretty cool with The Mask. I think it'd be pretty wild. And I haven't thought about The Mask in forever. I'm not originally from Chicago. I live in Chicago currently, but I wasn't technically born, but I was spent every day of my life until just recently in Byron, Illinois. just west of here. I was born in Dixon, actually, of all places. If anyone was ever just so desperately.
Gross.
Yeah, Dixon sucks. But yeah, I was born in Dixon Hospital. Okay, I mean, it's weird now because everything's starting to open up, but there's also jokes for people with masks everywhere. Well, I mean, when you say The Mask, I'm thinking of The Mask, the movie. In which case, it actually would be kind of cool if you think about it. Imagine The Mask like Jim Carrey's The Mask fatality. Think about that. And tell me that's not fucking cool. Dragon, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris. You'll probably never see me sit down and want to do a Dragon Ball movie night. If you want me to put it on for you and not show up and be in the chat at all, yeah, sure. I can't do it. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, like, it's weird because, you know, everyone's saying, oh, it was too early to open back up, but because without, like, there hasn't been any other stimulus check or anything, and now you're allowed to be evicted from your apartments, things like that. It's like, good God. I mean, either, I don't know, you kind of got to start paying up a little bit more and supporting people, or you kind of got to open the economy. It's fucking weird right now. The world's so weird right now. I'll physically pay you to watch it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Nick's still rocking the same job.
Yup. I'm still here getting that hazard pay on Saturday, or not hazard pay, holiday pay on Saturday. But I'll get $15 an hour for 7.5 hours.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Take it. And then I got 4 hours paid time off today or yesterday. Then I also worked half hours yesterday. So it's a good old 7.5 today. Grinding. And some credit cards paid off, hopefully.
True. Yeah, Illinois is in the process of going up to that $15 minimum wage. Isn't it about like 2022 or 2023, I think? Something like that.
Um, 25. 2025.
It's going to take some time.
However, July 1st, the minimum wage, like as of today, Illinois' minimum wage has to be $10 an hour.
Oh, okay.
So then it's January 1st, 2020 has to go up to some more, and then July 1st, 2021, then January 1st, 2022, and yeah.
Same.
I'm not in an area right now where DoorDash is a thing. Out in the country, small town gang.
I could go do that. I could go.
I also don't think DoorDash would let me do it because of my record.
I consider doing something like that, but fuck that. Mackenzie with the $5 super chat said your thoughts on the upcoming Retromania Wrestling, the spiritual successor to the WWF WrestleFest arcade. I don't even know what the fuck that is, dude. But thank you so much for super chat. Let me look this thing up, man. Let me look this thing up. I'm looking. Retromania. Holy fuck! What is this? How have I not heard of this? This is sick. This takes me back. It's like I'm playing on the Nintendo 64 again. Oh, that's cool. Well, I mean, now, obviously, I'm intrigued. It's good to see wrestling games taking a bit of a turn now, as 2K20 failed so horrifically. Now you have like the I don't even remember what it's called. What's that one wrestling game that's coming out?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one 2K, the other 2K game. I'm just gonna. It'll come up. I believe it'll come up. 2K Battlegrounds. That's what it is. Yeah, so that game, just new things, man. Just new things. WWE finally, being able to expand a little bit and not be the same shit every year. I really do think WWE needs to go back down a route with gaming that isn't so dependent on being PG. They still have like blood again. You can turn on blood, but like, man, it used to do such cool things where you'd be able to go to like backstage and have a really cool interactive environment. Like, you still have the backstage brawls, but it used to be crazy, man. I remember I think it was Here Comes the Pain. You could go outside of the arena and like be in the streets, and you could climb up on like a helicopter and literally jump off of a helicopter, and like, it's okay to be a little crazy. It's okay to be a little crazy. I know 2K has this draw for realism and looking as crisp and clean as possible, even though they haven't done a very good job with that when it comes to the WWE games. But yeah, I mean, go back a little bit. And now that they're doing like things like Battlegrounds and being less realistic, maybe they'll make a good WWE game again. Who knows? Maybe someday. We need one though, man. We need a good WWE game. SmackDown versus Raw was really cool. All the I liked all of them, man. SmackDown, shut your mouth. Those are better times. Better times. Yeah, we'll do more WWE videos in the future. That's content that doing remotely is really, really hard to do. Yeah, so that one works a lot better when we're together, and we obviously haven't really been able to do that recently. So we'll get there. We'll get back to that.
So I'm a gamer, right?
Yeah.
I have Xbox Game Pass.
Yes.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is on Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I love Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna like Red Dead Redemption 2?
You're asking them. I don't really know.
Right. Red Dead Redemption 2 needs 119 gigabytes.
That sounds about right.
No.
What's on Game Pass right now? Because I have Game Pass as well. Join Xbox Game Pass for some cool games.
I have to get rid of 82 gigabytes. Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
No, I don't get rid of that.
That's the one that's 20. It's 80 gigs.
I uninstalled Modern Warfare recently so I could re-download Black Ops 4 and play Blackout again. Oh man, it's been a lot of fun. I haven't gotten to play shit though.
Are we gonna play Siege on Xbox ever?
We gonna play what?
Are we ever gonna play Siege on Xbox?
I actually just reinstalled it recently, I think.
So I shouldn't get rid of it.
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, Black Ops 4, I doubt you're ever gonna jump on. You can uninstall that one safely, I would say.
Well, for some reason I have Project Cars 2, which is 50 gigs. For some reason I have that downloaded, and then I have Forza Motorsport 6.
That's probably pretty big.
Forza's 48 gigs, and Project is 49. So that's enough for Red Dead Redemption 2. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it while on Discord. This is my lag.
Yeah, your voice is lagging a little bit because of it. Hun Showdown. I haven't played Hun Showdown forever, but I keep seeing all the stuff that's coming out for it. It looks sick. Hey, Alan. The £5 super chat that hasn't popped up in my restream chat yet. There it is. Remnant from the Ashes, play a Dark Solo with guns. There you go. And there's so many cool weapons and bosses. That's Alan's opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, you could get like an SSD.
I need one for Plex. I need a bigger one, but and if that hard drive shits, all those movies, all those terabytes of movies are gone.
You know, I think I'm going to get a 10 terabyte hard drive soon.
Whoa.
And so once I make the transfer from my 8 terabyte to I actually might go bigger than that. I might go like 12. Once I transfer like the 8 terabyte of shit I already have, you can just take this 8 if you want for Plex.
Well, that'd be nice. And never, man. I mean, I could still fill it, but
yeah, because I'm running out of room again. So,
yeah. At some point, just gonna have to get a server.
fuck it. You know how expensive those are, man.
Yep.
Fucking stupid. Yeah, I'll have to look at some bigger boys. Dude, WWE Crush Hour, fucking right. That shit was awesome. WWE Crush Hour was my life. Okay, those were better times. I'm telling you, I need to go back. We could shake hands then. It was a good time. That's one thing I'm like really weirded out about because I like shaking hands. I like being close to people. Now this convention's coming up where it's all driven off meeting and greeting people. I'm gonna be really uncomfortable. Do I shake anybody's hand or do I avoid them at all? I mean, I imagine there's like a rule. There's gonna be like pieces of paper everywhere explaining like, do not touch anybody, do not shake hands with any of the celebrities. Oh, okay.
You will use 2 squirts of hand sanitizer, rub for 10 seconds, and then shake the celebrity's hand.
I think they should put every single table. They should put a thing of hand sanitizer. To at least like potentially open that door, maybe. But yeah, every celebrity, at the least, every celebrity should have a thing of hand sanitizer right there on the table. You can clean your hands, and then handshakes wouldn't be so weird.
I am truly surprised though that Indy is still announcing guests.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that like all the guests haven't been like, fam, that's literally a breeding ground. I'm out. Like, are all these people just like desperate for money and think that it's actually going to be like 100% safe? I think no matter what, you have one person breathe into the air, everyone's got it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's be clear. Gloves don't solve the issue. Well,
gloves actually can spread. If you touch something that has COVID, your gloves. Touch something else, it's there now. Like, it's everywhere. You're better off hand sanitizer.
Yeah, you're talking about an air-infested disease here, and like you can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't like even gloves like contain like they hold on a lot of shit. But if everyone has gloves, you're still going to take them off at some point. Are you ever going to itch your face? You ever gonna do anything like anything like this? You literally, if you have gloves and that's what you're relying on, you can't touch anything. You have to avoid touching any. You can't touch your backpack or anything like that. But if you're relying on hand sanitizer, you could kill the things that are getting on your hands, and that's not an issue. But gloves, not so much. You touch shit and you're still spreading it everywhere. Just scientifically speaking, I think you're actually safer if you avoid gloves themselves and just you're gonna put hand sanitizer on the gloves. Oh, okay, silly me. But then what the fuck's the point of the gloves? Explain to me what the point of the gloves is then. There isn't one. There isn't a fucking point to having the gloves. If you're gonna take the time to consistently hand sanitize your gloves to keep everything around you safe, just don't wear. You don't even have to wear the fucking gloves. What the fuck is reviving Camp Blood? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that before. Get that out of here. If you're still calling reviving Camp Blood, you got it. You're so far behind that I can't even begin to explain to you. Can't even begin to explain to you where we're currently at.
Reviving Camp Blood is now Fall of Camp Blood. COVID. Period.
But
end of list.
Oh, Jesus, think. Okay, so again, with the gloves, you can't touch anything that is on your person. You see what I'm saying? And we're talking about you'd be wearing them hours at a time at a convention. You can't touch anything on your person, otherwise it clings. You're much better off to just bring a bottle of hand sanitizer with you, and anytime you touch something, you get in contact with something, take a little squirt, rub it off. Because otherwise, like, you get it on your gloves, and then you're gonna grab like your backpack, like a lot of people carry at cons, and now it's on there, and then you bring that back with you, and that's how shit spreads, my guy.
MacGyver.
You have multiple sets of gloves, so you're constantly changing your gloves throughout the day. You would rather just change your gloves all the time rather than just fucking putting on hand sanitizer? Isn't this?
Well, like at my job, I have the option to either put on a pair of gloves, help one person, and then take the gloves off, throw them away, and put new gloves on for the next customer. Get a new set of gloves for every single customer, or hand sanitize.
Chris, so you're saying every time you're at a con, you're at Dark Corridor, my guy. Oh, shit. Alan out here gifting subs. Appreciate that. Hey, thanks so much. Like, so you would if I want to grab something from my backpack at a con, you would take off your gloves, throw them away, grab something in your backpack, put hand sanitizer on, grab something in your backpack, get it out, and then put gloves on to use it. And then when you have to go put it back in your backpack, take the gloves off, throw them away, put the thing back in your... Use hand sanitizer, put the thing back in your backpack, and then get a new pair of gloves. Just fucking use hand sanitizer, people. That is... I'm telling you, gloves 99% of the time in this scenario are doing more harm than good. And if everybody's doing that, fine, Chris, you win. Have it your way. But I'm telling you, that scenario is going to just spread more for 99% of people. But if you were truly doing that and you were being that cautious where you were changing your gloves 20, 30 times a day, every time you touch something, fine. You're right. But if not, like everybody else, who are fucking too lazy to even wear a mask, all right? I promise you, that ain't fucking happening. Let's be real. Kane will definitely still wear his gloves, by the way. Yeah, he definitely will. But I also don't think he'll be shaking any hands. A Dracula game? Oh, man, I don't know. A Dracula game... Universal Monsters deserve some more love in the gaming world. Like, what the fuck? Let's make one big fighting game with all the Universal Monsters.
Terradrome.
Yeah, Terradrome, exactly.
Oh man. Hear about Ezekiel Elliott?
What about him? Is there something new that I don't know about?
He was Twitch streaming the other day.
Ah.
And he, at the end of it, he's like, I'm low-key faded as hell. And looks at the camera, he's like, oh shit, I forgot I was live.
What?
And then ended his stream.
Why is he so stupid? He's something, man.
Sounds like something a faded person would say.
Why would he say that? Why?
Yo, I'm low-key faded right now. Oh shit, I forgot I was live. Stream.
I can't find. I'm trying to look at hard drives. I don't see anything up above 10 terabytes. Give me that like 20 terabyte, dude.
Ooh.
What does 20 terabytes look like? What's the price look like?
$500.
Oh shit! I found a 20 terabyte. It ain't cheap.
Eight?
740. $740 for a 20 terabyte.
Yikes.
Looks good though. Looks cool. You can get a 10 terabyte now for only 180. That ain't bad. I was hoping to get a little more than just a 2 terabyte extension, you know. Oh, there's a 14 terabyte. Give me that. What's that? What's the price? What are we looking at? Fuck, it doesn't show the price. Hey, only 240? That's getting more in the price range, kinda.
Yeah, we love Happy Death Day franchise. Happy Death Day to you. I mean, I enjoyed Happy Death Day to you. I can acknowledge that it's less of a horror movie and more of a sci-fi movie.
For sure.
But I enjoy the shit out of Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to you. Babyface in Dead by Daylight, I would love it, but I think it's too small of a franchise for it to be profitable for behavior.
I never found Babyface all that
Scary?
So yeah, I didn't really find Babyface all that scary either.
You know what? Throw it in as a mask for the Legion.
Yeah, there you go. I love both the Dead by Daylight, both the Happy Death Day movies as well. Yeah, but for the same reason Nick just said, I don't know if you'd ever really see a chapter. Favorite Beatles song?
Wow, that's tough. If
Probably like Let It Be. Let It Be, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
I've always been a Let It Be, Hey Jude, Octopus's Garden.
Hey Jude, yeah.
I mean, there's so many. What else? If I had to put one on, I had Let It Be stuck in my head the other day, and I haven't heard it in like months.
Yeah, I love Let It Be.
I love the live versions of Let It Be. Those are the best.
Next script for Little Mad. It's a secret currently. I'm glad you enjoyed the first 2 episodes. We're really excited. I think Little Mad has a lot of potential. So yeah, we got a lot coming. We got a lot coming for it. But yeah, for now, until like next Monday-ish, we'll keep it a little bit of a secret. What should you do first after quarantine's over? I mean, all I want to do is go to the fucking gym. I was gonna go this morning, dude, and Rachel fucked it up. And then I was gonna go because I couldn't go this afternoon because she had class from 1 to 5. And then by the time you get to the evening, Export's super packed, and they said like don't even bother coming at those times because you have to wait in line because there's a limit and shit. So fuck, man, like I'm all around just couldn't go today. I got screwed.
Is Export 24/7?
Not right now. It's not because of.
Is it normally?
Yeah.
Snap is still 24/7.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go to Snap on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Monday.
I'm definitely working Friday, Saturday, and probably Sunday. But
Rip.
Well,
Rip in pieces. Jack, I would never expect to see any new content in Friday the 13th, the game. As for update, like patches and stuff, yeah, maybe got a handful of those left. I don't know how much they got left in them for that, but not really, Chris. If you want me to go in through my Tool songs, I got like 2 of them. So Doug Bradley has a YouTube channel where he's read a book out loud. Okay. Oh, wet paint pictures, my guy Cody. What's going on, man? We were actually talking about you earlier. Oh, hey.
Yes, we were.
Fucking Alan over here just gifting a whole bunch of subs here. Well, Max, welcome. And Alan, thanks for gifting another sub, my man.
Thanks.
Is that another one? Or is that just Sarah? Oh, it says gifted tier 1 subscription, so I'm assuming that's just straight, still Alan. Me and Alan. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Really, we were just talking fan films in general earlier. Unfortunately, we're probably about to wrap up here in a second. But yeah, man, I'm excited. We were talking about the release date, and that we're expecting a release date announcement here in July. That's going to be exciting. But yeah, I guess we should be wrapping this thing up here in a couple minutes. So if you got any last second questions you want to get out there, we can address. We'll do just that. Let us know. Otherwise, I don't know. Do we have any announcements to spread up the next 4 minutes here?
You can just keep on keeping on. Slashcast Podcast Network. If you never heard of it, look it up.
Yeah, make sure you check out the Slashcast Podcast Network. We actually might have a new show entering very soon. I really hope so. We discussed some today. So hopefully we work that out. And gotta be Rob. Welcome. As Alan just gifted another member too. What are you doing, Alan? What are you trying to prove, huh?
Another one.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, so I'll probably be back streaming. I probably will stream tomorrow because I won't be able to over the weekend because I'll be out of town for the 4th. Going fishing with the pops again, you know. Gotta keep the man happy. But yeah, so July 11th, very special stream, our 4-year anniversary celebration stream, which will have a handful of announcements that we're really excited for, including the new channel that has we've been holding near and dear to our hearts, haven't said anything about yet. So if you want to hear that announcement, come check us out. It's July 11th. It's going to be a good time. Otherwise, it'd be just hanging out like this, but cooler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, podcast network. New episodes of Make It Earth Count available now. We have another episode out tomorrow. Little Mad's going strong over there. You go check out the most recent episode of Little Mad, which is a full read-through of an unproduced sequel of Friday the 13th, the remake. Huh? Oh, it was a fun time. That was not exactly the best script in the world, sure, but we had a blast reading through it. And I think there's a lot of really, really funny moments in there that you guys will get a kick out of. So you should check that out. And yeah. Zombie Alpha, welcome. As Alan also appears to have gifted you a sub. I mean, what a nice guy.
Wow.
This is why gifting members should be a thing on YouTube, by the way. Like, get their shit together over there, because, dude, missing a lot of potential. Speaking of which, if you're not a member, consider joining for as low as $2. Members keep the channel alive. And we got a lot of fun things coming. All right. Let's see. What would be your favorite horror game that comes out? I mean, obviously, what we'd want to see is a Halloween game. But, you know. Right now, we don't even... As terms like what's been announced... well, I guess Evil Dead, if it's in the conversation, I'm definitely excited for that one. That's like at the top of the list for things that at least we know are happening. Outlast Trials has my attention. Little Hope has my attention. Either way, excited for all those. Danny, thank you for the $2 super chat, my friend. Just a great stream, guys. Appreciate it. I always love doing these types of streams, just hanging out, talking, just bullshitting with the boys. It's always a good time. I think that's it. I think we got everything in there. Thanks for all you guys hanging out. Thanks you members and subs on Twitch for all the support. I really appreciate you. And that's it. Right? I think that's it. Okay, Nick?
Check the super chat.
Oh, there's another super chat?
From Danny?
I read that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, are you even listening to me, bro?
I was paying attention.
What the fuck?
I was paying attention. I saw it pop up in the chat, and I don't know.
What the fuck, man? You don't even listen to me when I talk.
I was.
All right. Now say your thing.
Your pet's spayed or neutered.
Okay. All right. With that, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.